You're listening to Fringianity.
Hello, this is Leo Rutledge, the host of Fringianity and the creator, I guess. So, I wanted to do a short episode briefly just to tell everybody I'm sorry I haven't been doing a show for quite a while now, and thank you for all your support and your listening and all that stuff, because it does make a difference. But this is more of a personal episode, and I just wanted to get some things off my chest and explain some things about the show and what I want to do in the future and what I've been dealing with in the past few months. And bear with me, because I really got a cold, and my voice is just kind of dead. I got 2 pink eyes, one in each eye, because my wife works at a nursing home, and an old guy coughed on her, and she brought that sickness home, and we both ended up with pink eye, basically, or whatever, and sick as a dog, and all this stuff, and on and on and on. So, I just wanted to do a short little episode, just kind of talking about why I haven't done the show for a while, and for new listeners, just kind of avoid this episode, because it has nothing to do with you, really. It's for long-term listeners, I guess. I don't know, because no one's going to want to listen to me babble about myself and my life. But for anyone that does want to stick around and kind of hear out what I have to say, I just want to say that in the past few months, since I haven't done the show, I've just kind of been, I guess I've learned new things and heard new, things, and changed my mind. This show has always been a progressing thing, where I'm constantly learning things and changing my mind and kind of becoming more knowledgeable, just like most people do. They research something and it'd be like, oh, turns out this is true instead of that. And I just kind of been doing that and learning things and all that, but that's not all I do. That's like 1% of the time I spend in my life doing things. And like I said, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. So usually I have to bring and do sound clips or whatever from wherever I find them to kind of cover the spots that I don't understand, or I can't explain, or I feel like I'll babble if I talk about it. So I save the listener all that, and I just go, hey, you know what? This guy has a better, more to the point explanation on what's going on with this, So I'll bring that into the show, and I use GarageBand on my iPad mini, because that's all I have to do this show on, basically. And the memory is so full on this thing, I don't even know how I record episodes. I gotta delete a lot of stuff. And this thing is getting old, and it's not working so well anymore. So hopefully this thing doesn't give me any trouble. But anyway, the point is in the past few months, I haven't been doing, I just haven't been feeling into doing anything with the show or whatever. And I've had a lot of, I guess, spiritual battles or spiritual struggles in a sense. And, just not really giving up on, like, Jesus Christ or anything and becoming hopeless or becoming some kind of an atheist or some crap, but just, I guess, getting down and kind of wondering what the point of doing this show is. It just, it's some, everybody is not upbeat all the time, and I see a lot of Christians that I see them and they're just, positive all the time, and it's like, I cannot relate to that. I can't. I don't even talk the Christianese language that a lot of these people talk, and it's like, oh, Jesus is awesome, and all this, and oh, hallelujah, and all I don't like Christian music because I think it's kind of fake and not realistic, and it's just a bunch of Jesus loves you repetitively, and this repetitive stuff, almost like New Age. I don't see Christianity in a lot of Christianity stuff that people say is Christian. Because you got to understand where I come from is I read the King James Bible, and what I seen in there before I got any influence from any pastors or anybody is I just listened to what only Jesus said in that book and the disciples. So I'm basing everything I know off of the King James Version Bible. And most times I would take the Bible literally. In other words, if Jesus says something, I want to be literally taking that, I realize he spoke in a lot of different ways. He didn't speak literally on everything, but you know what I mean. If he says, go and sin no more, I think Jesus just said, go and sin no more, right? So that's where I come from. So when I hear a lot of these things where people have had pastors that taught them a certain way of thinking of what it says in the Bible, I can't understand them and I don't get it. Because I go, well, this is what my Bible says. My Bible is my pastor, not a pastor, my Bible. So when I look at the Bible, I just bare bones, that's the word. That's it. I'm scared. I'll put it this way. I am scared to have a pastor lead me because I will be constantly questioning him all along the way, and I'll probably look like a jerk. Because I look at it like, you know what? There's so many people being deceived right now. So many pastors saying, oh yeah, you could take the mark of the beast, all this stuff, and it's, you'll still get into heaven because you didn't worship, the beast. All that, I just forget all that. I just go, you know what? My Bible says this, and if the pastor doesn't line up, then the pastor has to go, not the Bible, not Jesus. And I think that's a good way to go about it, but a lot of people get mad at you because you're not into the thing that they have been taught their whole life. So then people look at you like you're crazy because you just said something that they don't get. But that's not the point of this whole show. I don't know, I'm getting on a rabbit trail right there. The point is, this is a short episode, and I just wanted to just explain that I've been having like a lot of, spiritual warfare against me, maybe, I don't know. And I haven't been the best Christian I should be. And a lot of times I think when people see what I say on Facebook or something, I think they shy away from me because I'm too subjective or too picky or too picking it's like I'm picking a fight. I think people think that that's what I mean when I say a lot of things because you got to understand, I don't have a lot of friends, so when I say something, I'm just like, well, this is how I feel, and I just don't realize that there's other people that might take offense to that so much sometimes, or if they do, I'm up in arms right away thinking, well, I'm going to win this battle, I'm not going to go out and fight with someone or, go in the comments and go crazy, but you know what I mean? It's just, I'm not a great person, I'm not this positive, upbeat, Joel Osteen, nice guy leader to do a podcast, but apparently people listen, so I don't know, I must do something right. Maybe they just listen every week to just go, holy crap, this guy is like a car accident slowly happening, and I can't believe this is happening, but whatever. There's a lot of way better podcasters out there than me that do such great work and do better things for ministry and for God in general that I can't even count myself even a quarter of anything that they touch. So But that's the thing. I don't feel like I'm changing anything or I'm doing any good in the world. And, my wife, she doesn't really care for this show either. She won't listen to it. She don't really care for it. She doesn't get my point or why I'm talking about exposing things or talking about all. She's just like, you're talking about politics all the time and, or, all the things in the world. And, what's that going to do? Is that going to save anyone's life? No, that's not paying our bills. It's not doing anything. I mean, it's not like I expect this to pay my bills, but you know what I mean? That's what the way she sees it is pretty, because she's more positive. She doesn't want to see negativity and all this stuff because the world is falling apart, and she knows that. But I'm more of a warrior, I guess, and she's more of a just functional person that just this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do to get through this, But me, I'm more of a a spiritual warrior type person where I'm like, you know what? I don't believe that this is right. We need to try to wake people up, try to change this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I can be kind of a jerk in thinking that way, I think. I don't know. But my voice is also kind of messing up. So, like I said before, please bear with me because I have no voice left, really. I've been coughing and phlegm and all kinds of crap in the last week, and it's just yuck. So anyway, the point I think I'm trying to make here is that I'm just looking for a reason, really, I just don't know why I do the show. Like I said, there's so many greater people out there, and I'm not egotistical maniac, though someone might probably think I am, but I'm not, and I'm not into listening to myself and going, oh, I love how I did that, So, but on the other hand, I am kind of a perfectionist, so that's another reason why I don't do the show every week and all this, because I tend to go, you know what, if I do the show this week, it's not going to be... It's going to take... I just need more time to get all of the things together. I got to have music in the background. I got to get this guy's quote. I got to try to track down this guy's quote. Oh, I need to write this down. I got to have these perfect Bible scriptures. I'm just thinking, I got to get all of this stuff, and I got to cram it into a 45-minute show because that's all of my time is allotted for on Spreaker with the plan I'm on. So I'm like, do I do it, and then if I do that, are people going to care enough about that type of subject, or are they going to think I'm a jerk for, talking bad about Trump and something, or saying, whatever. And, that's the thing, and people don't know where I'm coming from personally, so they just take what they think they know who I am by, oh, this guy posted this, so that's what kind of person he is. But I'm more of a middle of the road person. I don't go right, I don't go left, I go in the middle. Whatever's right, whatever I think Jesus would agree with, is where I try to go. And I've just had this conversation with my dad tonight, over the phone, and I'm just like, you know what? You can't just, go, oh, I'm a Republican, but I'm a Christian. No, you have to be Christian. And if Trump is wrong, you go right back to Christian, not Trump. You don't go, well, I'm going to have to try to defend him. No, don't worry about Trump. Get back over to Christian. Go back over to Christ and put down your American flag. Get back over to Christ. That's how I think. That's how I think about everything. Though I try to go, well, you know what? And I'm not perfect. I can be wrong. I can be, everything that everyone else is. I am not a perfect person. But that's my guiding post that I try to stick to is, because in the past I have been more forgiving of Trump in the past, but now I'm starting to see, little cracks and errors, because that's what you start to see in these presidents. Every time they get later in their time in office, they start to, kind of sell out to the New World Order more, and they try to do more things. But this is not about Trump, and I'm not going to get into that, and I'm not going to have someone getting mad at me about because I said something bad about Trump. My point is I want to focus more on the backbone, the bare bones of what Jesus said, But like I said, I have fallen down, and I have been I haven't done well in the past few months. The past few months I have struggled, and I've been, I guess, even a little bit of backslidden, not horrible things, but I had to repent of a bunch of stuff that I just see wrong with myself, and I'm not a great person sometimes, just like everybody. And, I had to do that, and when that stuff happens, if you ever sin or whatever, and you're allowing Satan to have a right to come into your life, and when that happens, things can go wrong because you gave Satan a foothold in your life. But I don't have the worst life in the world. My wife I'm still married, everything's fine, but just I think my wife is embarrassed by some of the things I might say on Facebook, because I post a lot of political stuff and a lot of straight up, straightforward thinking things. So that might make a lot of people a little bit more angry sometimes, I think. But whatever. The thing is I'm not perfect, and nor is anyone else. And so that's just the way it is. So I just struggle in life just like everyone else, and I'm probably babbling too much now, but the point is I've been having a lot of struggles in the past few months. So I guess the hard part, I'll just be straightforward, is I guess the last month or so I was driving along, coming home from work at 2:30 in the morning, and I had a deer run right into my car, running as fast as it can out of a field, directly into my car. I tried to go around him, but I'm going 50 miles an hour at the time, and he just completely annihilated the front end of my car. Basically, my radiator's gone, my computer basically is gone, the car doesn't start, I can't do anything with it, and the bodywork is it's just messed up. I don't think it looks as bad in pictures as it is, with cost of fixing it, because when I bought the car, I bought it used. It's a 2008 Dodge Caliper, a manual, so it's just a regular basic version. So I got the thing originally for $3,500. Straight up, and we bought it cash, we paid it in cash or whatever. So I got the car, and I used that thing. I even drove Uber for a while, and I used that car to go everywhere. And yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt because it's a manual. So imagine sitting in traffic with a manual, going up and down hills, bridges, turns, craziness in traffic, and Uber, stressful people in the back wanting to go here, there, But anyway, so I did a lot of driving with that thing, and I got it. It's a great car. It's not the best in the wintertime, but in the summertime, it's the best car you could have practically, because everything's manual. I like things that way. I'm more of a simple person. But I'm not a huge fan of manual stick shift, but it does keep the millennials from robbing you. And no one's going to steal a manual car if it's a stick shift, Anyway, so I completely demolished the car, at least as far as I know. I'll put it this way. It's not demolished if I have money. If I had the money to fix it, it's not demolished. But the thing is it's going to cost more than the car's worth to fix all that stuff. And I mean, like I said, I got the car for $3,500, and I just, I own the car and I've had it for a while. It's not a beater. It looks nice, but the thing was just, a regular car, nothing special. So all I had is just liability insurance I think that's what it was. Anyway, basically the most basic insurance on the car. I don't have full coverage on the car because it's not even worth full coverage. I understand some people are just anal about, you got to have full coverage, you got to have all this insurance, but I don't have a lot of money. The car is messed up enough to where I would need probably around $3,000 or a little under that, I don't know, to fix this thing, or to get another decent used car, which would be like this one. So that's where I'm at, and the thing is me and my wife, before this car accident and everything, we just got rid of our other old car, and I went out and got a newer used car, and we have to have full coverage on that, and we have payments, and they're higher payments. So now we got those payments, plus all of our regular payments, and then this thing comes along, and guess what happens? Now I got to afford to get a whole new car without any savings, so I got to start from scratch, because the deer is not going to pay for my car to get fixed. And the deer, it's a female, I believe, lost her head in the front end or whatever when she decided to run right into the front of my car, and I tried to go around it at 50 miles an hour. So anyway, that whole thing happened, and after that was done, I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I give up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm like, there's no way I can, because I had to quit after that car was ruined. I had to quit my part-time job because I can't go to that now because it's just one car for me and my wife to get to work and back. So here's this great dilemma, I gotta, as the guy, gotta figure out what I'm supposed to do here, So it's a big mess, and I hate whining, complaining, and this right here, this whole thing it's hard for me to say this stuff to anyone because I hate depending on anyone. Anyone in my family, you tell them anything, and if it costs money and you need help, oh my God, you better run. Because they don't want nothing to do with you. So, that being said, I'm just basically screwed on this deal. But there is a blessing in this. Is a friend of mine from Facebook, Geraldine Kozak, decided to ask me when all this happened if she wanted me, if she could do a Gofundme for me. And yeah, that's really nice of her and everything, and I can't say thank you enough, and she's just a blessing. And you don't find people like that very often in the world, so that's amazing. So for her to offer that, and she's she's kind of been there in the background on and off. I've known her for quite a while. Me and her chat sometimes, and just kind of like in and out here and there, off and on. But I just thought that was really kind that she decided that she would try to do this for me. And I usually would say no, but this time I said, you know what? I need to give up some pride and actually just say, you know what if this is what God would want me to do? Knock and you shall be enter, ask and it will be given. So anyway, I should really get to the point of everything. Is I'm just on basically wondering if any of the listeners of the Fringianity or anything else, anyone, if you know anybody, talk to the people if anybody is listening to this, if you have anybody who's willing to donate and help out, you'll be a blessing beyond belief. It would be helpful to me so much beyond anything you can imagine. I mean, I hate asking for help, and I'm probably bad at this, so please, if you're going to give anything is a blessing. Anything. And even prayer is nice too. I'm not going to say no to prayer either, so if you want to pray to help me get through some of these rough times and spiritual, I don't know, warfare or whatever that's going on in my life, that's a blessing too. But the GoFundMe, I'll put it in the show notes to the show because I don't want to read off a giant, information on the URL or whatever, or the website info to get to the link or whatever. I'm looking at the page now though, and it says it basically has a picture of me and my wife, and I got a red coat on and a hat, and it's like a Christmas card because there's snow in the background. In the picture anyway, and then it's got the name that Geraldine put is Help Couple W / in other words with buying car or buying used car after bad accident. So it says Help Couple with buying used car after bad accident, and that's the listing. And at this moment there's only $65 in the account, and thank you to everybody who has given on there. I don't want to give anyone's name because I don't know if they want to be read off on the show, but it's a very, very big blessing. No matter how much money you gave, all of it equals out in my mind. It's a blessing. So, and yeah, and there's a brief description of all of it there that tells, every kind of the same information I just said on here. In fact, there's more information I told you on here than there is on there, I think. But it would be such a help if I could end up getting basically the goal of 3,000. It would be so much help for me and my wife. I mean, that would get us through, and we could probably get something. That would be more than enough as far as I'm concerned. Or prayer, whatever you can do. So I'm going to stop begging people for money because I'm not good at it, as you can tell. I mean, I sound like kind of a rambling idiot when I say anything like that. So that being said, the Fringianity show, I'm going to get back to making episodes. Hopefully I will be without a cold and cough and all that stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks, so that I will be able to talk without sounding like my voice is going out. And I have a couple episodes already kind of in the works. I mean, I am a perfectionist, so bear with me, because I tend to try to get as much information cram-packed into a 45-minute episode as I can. And so I tend to try to get as much stuff that I can find on one subject and figure out clips and everything to put together that fits properly with that episode. But so that's coming. I didn't completely give up on the show, and I've been feeling like I need to do the show lately, because I can't talk about some of the stuff that I talk about on this show with my wife too much. She's just not into it. So anyway, that's the future info for what's coming on the show, I guess. I'm not going to get too far into that. I just wanted to let you know that the show is not over and gone forever, and I'm glad people have listened in the past, and I probably lost a lot of listeners because I haven't put out a show for so long, and I don't blame anybody for just getting rid of the show and completely deleting the podcast, but I just haven't had it in me for a while. I've been dealing with a lot of crap, and just life just not going the way I would like it to. And like I said, I'm not a rich person. I'm just a regular guy, just like anybody. I don't even have the ability to record podcasts, like episodes where I record like interviews and stuff like that. Like a lot of these shows, they do interviews and all that, or have other guests. It's just me on here. It's just me and my iPad mini. And I record everything all on GarageBand, and I send it over to Spreaker, and that's my whole thing. I don't have a big crazy setup or anything like that. I just try to make the most out of my podcast with the least amount of stuff. I mean, I try to put a lot of levels and a lot of different things into the podcast, but I don't have a big fancy computer. I don't have a lot of new stuff, so that's what I'm doing. I mean, right now I'm recording with a headphone and just basically like a cheap headphone with a little mic on the headphone, and I'm holding the headphone mic up in the air so I don't make a bunch of crackling sound or touching or rubbing it on my shirt or anything. Yeah, I'm just laying on a bed holding my iPad and holding it, so it just looks ridiculous. I don't have no fancy $1 million recording studio like I would like to have. But that being said, I'll probably get more into other interesting things that I'd like to do in the future on other shows. But for now, I just wanted, like I said, the GoFundMe, I'm going to put that in the show notes to this episode. Or you can also check out the Fringianity Underground Facebook group and Facebook page if you want to also see the post for the link for my GoFundMe. I'll share it on there as well, and I'll probably put it in the comments below for the post for this show as well. I think that's what I'll do. It'll be a lot of work because if I share this show with a lot of other Facebook groups or whatever, but it's whatever works. Anyway, so before my voice goes out, I just figured I'd let everyone know that the podcast is not over and things are moving forward, but I gotta get back to health here first. So that being said, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for putting up with all this time I've been gone, and if anyone's listening to this. And that's about all I have to say. All right. God bless. Thank you.